Okay, so get this. ChatGPT. It's changing so fast, I swear even the tech blogs can't keep up.
Right. Every day it's something new.
Like seriously, every day there's some new mind-blowing way people are using it.
It's easy to get caught up in the hype. But we need to step back.
Totally. We need to see the bigger picture. What does it actually mean?
These aren't just toys. They're tools. Tools that could seriously change how we work, how we think, everything. But like with any tool.
You gotta know how to use it.
Exactly. That's what we're diving into today. Going from like ChatGPT newbie.
To total power user.
Right.
And you've definitely given us the roadmap, like, whoa, OpenAI's Help Center articles, a whole blog post about this memory feature.
Don't forget the PDF guide, Unlocking ChatGPT's Hidden Powers. Love that title.
So clearly, someone's been doing their homework.
Someone had to. Look, the basics are easy, right? You've played around with ChatGPT.
For sure,
But now it's about taking it to the next level, finding those aha moments where you realize, whoa, I can actually use this for something.
Let's start with this memory thing, because honestly, it always bugged me how ChatGPT would just forget everything we talked about.
Like talking to a goldfish. New prompt, new conversation.
The worst. But this blog post, though, it says ChatGPT can actually remember stuff now. That's a game changer.
It is, yeah. It can remember past interactions, which sounds simple, but
Right.
it opens up a ton of possibilities. Think of it like this. Instead of having to re-explain everything every time.
Like you're actually building a relationship with it.
Sort of, yeah. Like having an assistant who, over time, gets to know you, learns your preferences.
What kind of things?
Your writing style, what kind of information you need, all that. You build a context instead of starting from scratch. They had this great example in the blog post.
Oh, yeah. The coffee shop owner, right?
Using ChatGPT to help with social media, but because of the memory feature, it could actually keep the branding consistent across all the posts. Pretty slick, right?
So smart.
And it's not just for, marketing. Think about presentations, emails, even creative writing. You can maintain a consistent voice without having to constantly remind ChatGPT.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this is a big deal. Time saver, for sure.
Yeah.
But what about those times when I don't want ChatGPT to remember what I said?
Yeah, the what happens in ChatGPT stays in ChatGPT dilemma.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what about those late-night brainstorming sessions that should probably stay private?
Don't worry, OpenAI thought of that too. You have total control over your data. The Help Center article, the data controls one, it goes into all the details, but basically, you can see everything you've ever asked and delete whatever you want. Need a clean slate. You can do that too.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of control, it's really interesting. This whole idea of being able to, shape ChatGPT's personality.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. You know that line from Pygmalion? The moment one grows accustomed to anything, one begins to like it.
I feel like that applies here, except now we're the ones, molding our AI companions.
It's true. And this PDF guide you sent mentions it. You can actually tell ChatGPT how to respond to you. There are presets like casual or formal.
Right, but you can even get super specific, which is cool.
Give me an example because my brain needs to see this in action. Okay, let's say you're writing an email, right? You could be like, ChatGPT, respond to this in a super professional, courteous way, perfect for, a work thing. But then you have to email your best friend and you want that to be more chill, so you tell it to be casual and boom. It just adapts, changes its whole tone instantly.
Okay, I never even thought about it like
Mm-hmm.
that. But you're right, being able to switch up the tone for different people, so useful.
And we're just scratching the surface here. This PDF guide also mentions this thing called custom instructions. And it's basically like
next level personalization.
Exactly. It goes way beyond memory or tone. This is about the foundation. You're telling ChatGPT who you are, what you want.
Okay, so instead of just saying, write me a poem about a cat.
You say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm a veterinarian. I love haikus. Write me a poem about a cat from my perspective. I'm getting chills. That is so cool.
Right. It's all about giving it that extra context. The more ChatGPT knows about you, the better it can tailor its responses. And get this.
There's more?
Those custom instructions, they aren't just one-time things. They stay active until you change them. Think of it like setting up a user profile, but instead of your favorite color.
You're telling it your whole life story.
Well, maybe not your whole life story, but you can tell it about your work, your writing style, your sense of humor, all that good stuff.
It's like we're giving ChatGPT a crash course in us before asking it to work its magic.
Exactly. And think about the different facets you could bring in. Let's say you're a lawyer drafting briefs. You could set your custom instructions to, I value concise language, precedents from the Ninth Circuit Court, and always assume the opposing counsel will argue X. Wow, that's so specific. It's like having a mini-me prepped and ready to go in the ChatGPT system.
And that's just one profession. Imagine a chef tailoring instructions for recipe development or a musician working on a new song. The possibilities are literally endless. But since we're talking about exploring those possibilities,
You're reminding me we should touch on security. This level of personalization is exciting, but some listeners might be wondering about data privacy. What happens to all this information we're feeding ChatGPT?
you're right to bring that up. The good news is OpenAI has addressed this head-on. Remember those Help Center articles you sent? There's one specifically on data controls.
Right, so it's not like they're hiding this information away.
Not at all. They're very transparent. You get to decide how your data is used. Want to help improve the ChatGPT model for everyone? You can opt in. Not comfortable with that? You can opt out. It's entirely your call.
That level of control is key, especially with something this new. But what about those times when you want even more privacy? Like maybe you're working on something super secret, even top secret, and you don't want any trace of it anywhere.
There's a solution for that too, and it's actually mentioned in that OpenAI blog post we talked about earlier. It's called temporary chat, and it's basically like using incognito mode for your AI conversations.
I love that analogy. So no saving, no history. It's like the conversation never happened.
Exactly, and this ties back to a point I made earlier. As AI becomes more sophisticated, it's not just about the technology adapting to us, it's also about us learning how to use these tools effectively, understanding their nuances and capabilities.
It's like learning a new language almost. We need to understand the grammar, the syntax, the slang even, to really unlock its potential. Speaking of unlocking potential, this conversation has really opened my eyes to the possibilities here.
And this is still just the beginning. As AI continues to evolve, those possibilities are only going to multiply. It's almost like, I don't know, we're constantly playing catch up, but in a good way.
I know, right? Like it's pushing us to be more creative, more innovative.
Exactly. And that's what's so exciting about it. It's not this like doom and gloom robots are taking over scenario. It's more like,
It's a partnership.
yes. And all these features we've talked about, the memory, the custom instructions, even just being able to tell ChatGPT how to talk to you.
It's all about giving us more control, like we're still the ones in the driver's seat.
Exactly. And think about what that means for like teamwork. Instead of everyone having their own separate AI thing going on, teams could set up shared custom instructions. Imagine that everyone on the same page, literally.
Whoa, that's next level. And you know what else? Onboarding new people, it could be a game changer.
Totally. No more trying to get them up to speed on everything. ChatGPT would already know the team's goals, the style, everything.
It would be like having a secret weapon. Okay, so if our listener, you, could only take away one thing from all of this.
Just one.
One, what should it be?
Honestly, don't overthink it. Just start playing around. These tools are changing so fast, the best way to learn is to dive in. Try stuff. See what happens.
I love that because it's true. It's not about being an expert right away. It's about being curious.
Exactly. You never know what you might discover.
And that's what makes it so exciting. Well, there you have it, folks. Another deep dive into the world of AI, and clearly, this is just the beginning. But until next time, keep exploring, keep experimenting, and as always,
Keep those AI conversations flowing.